Hey everybody, it's been a while since I went live. It's definitely been a while. Um, I definitely just had not a lot, just a couple things on my mind that I thought I would share. I told you I would share sometimes what be in my head. Hi to everybody coming in. How are you guys doing? How are you guys feeling? So, inspired thoughts, musings, things like that. I've been talking to different people and just connecting with different energies. And it's kind of weird how I want to explain it without sounding weird, without being weird about things. Hi Crystal. Hey Johnny. It's good to be back. So, and please keep in mind, and this is not downing anybody or saying anything about anybody, but we all have specific roles to play. We cannot expect people to be on the same frequency and wavelength as us, whether it be all the time or even sometimes, which, again, the role you choose to play is the role you're going to play until you choose to be in a different role. And maybe this sounds like kind of repetitive, but I noticed like people are going for the same things, just like sorry about that, I had to close the door, just like in a different way. I like to tell people that the answers you're looking for, you find within yourself. And I am so fully aware that sometimes we are so caught in our own matrix of ourselves that we cannot, or we do not believe we are hearing what it is we are actually hearing. And so then it becomes a thing of, well, I'm not sure what I heard, this and this and that. And it kind of leads to you not believing in yourself. What I always tell people is, if you don't trust the energy of what you're hearing, the energy of what's coming through, then you don't have to respond or listen to that energy. Or, because we are all energy and we're all connected, maybe you should figure out what that energy is actually saying and why it's saying it to you. Sometimes energies aren't necessarily trying to do anything bad to you, honestly. They might actually feel bad because that's how you feel on that topic itself. So while you feel bad or you feel some type of way about the topic that whatever energy is telling you about, and you're just like, I don't really trust that energy, they're saying something that I don't really fuck with like that. Why don't you fuck with what they're saying? Have you truly questioned yourself and really thought about why you don't fuck with what they're saying? Is it because what they're saying has some truth to it? Is it because what they're saying kind of mirrors a thought process that you have or had that you don't want to, what word am I using? You don't want to acknowledge? And even if that is the case, there's no reason to feel any type of way about that, because we all go through stages. It's all a learning curve. Some people feel like they're a little bit behind Hey, Harry. Some of us feel like we're a little bit behind because, oh, I started my journey late, or I feel like I haven't gotten through this lesson. One thing about lessons is you can't rush them. You get through them when you're supposed to. That does not mean that you're not procrastinating or you're not holding yourself back when you're going through these messages. Because some of us, many of us, because even I've done it, we hold ourselves back because we're afraid of the truth. Honestly, the truth is better than a lie. I'd rather know the truth and it be painful than find out a lie that's going to hurt way worse, way longer, and affect my future. Because at the end of the day, life is a big tapestry. A tapestry that we decided to make. And we may feel like we want instant gratification in our tapestry now, which, again, I am completely understanding of. Let me put this down. I am completely in complete understanding of wanting your tapestry to be done and turn out the way you want it to. Of course, who would not want that? But at the same time, a tapestry is meant to last forever. Good quality tapestries may need cleaning here and there, but they last forever. Tapestries create a bigger picture. You're not looking at one side of a tapestry. You're looking at the whole thing. So your life is a big tapestry. What you want now is like that little line that you're doing. You want that now. But your tapestry to be good as a whole, you need to think about not just now, but the whole tapestry. And is whatever you're not trying to deal with now going to affect your whole tapestry? Is it going to mess up the lining? Is there going to be a bubble in your tapestry? Is it going to actually look finished? Is it going to stand the test of time? All of these things is things that I feel like people should really think about when, you're dealing with the lesson. And it's not to say that you have to rush through a lesson, because a rushed lesson doesn't get you anywhere. Exactly. And look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's easy. I'm not even going to sit here and tell you that it's not going to take time. There are some tricks to the trade of getting through lessons, and then there's just some lessons that you really got to stick your feet in and deal with. I can only really use my own experiences as a reference point, because I don't live anybody else's life but my own. And for anyone to know my experiences, then you can see like, okay, she knows what I'm talking about. For some people, they know that I went down for a little bit a couple months ago. That's not the first time I've gone down. So it's not my first rebirth. My very first rebirth definitely heralded me being more conscious of myself. I grew up in a spiritual family. So I grew up seeing things, knowing things, dreaming of things, candle workings, all of that. Hey, sis. So this whole process isn't new to me. Now, to the extreme that I had to go to, that became new to me. Because I didn't want to be different. I didn't want to be the sore thumb, supposedly, or the person. I just wanted to be normal. The more I tried to be normal, the more it didn't work. But what I had to come to the conclusion is, some of these lessons were there because I needed to experience them so that I could make my tapestry stronger and better. I had to learn how to believe in myself. For me personally, the best way for me to believe in myself, I had to let people tear me down. And I say let because can't nobody do to you what you don't allow. I let people tear me down, call me names, say whatever they wanted to say, regardless if they were right about it or not, regardless if I understood why they were doing it or not. It wasn't until that I got to the bottom point of life, to a point where I didn't want to be in this life. I figured it would be so much easier for everybody if I wasn't here. And yes, I am talking about suicide. I had this thought process like, it'd just be easier. Like, why not? Why create such a hassle for everybody when I can just, make it easier? And I know some of us have had those thoughts. It does not become easier. These lessons aren't for us to feel like we gotta go. As a medium, let me tell you how many spirits I've talked to that have gone and are now in a space that they cannot escape, because they thought it would be easier going to the other side. It would be easier if they weren't here. It is not easier. As above, so below. What you create here is what you create on the other side. Again, how do I know this? I'm a medium. I talk to the dead all the time. I've been talking to the dead all the time. Yes, Vesna, you are absolutely right. I have come in contact with spirits that are reliving their last moments over and over again. They are seeing the people they were running from over and over again. Time does not exist on that side. So what may seem like a year here could seem like seconds there. And they have all of eternity to continue with that cycle. Also, what was discussed and learned, not everyone that passes in our bloodline becomes an ancestor. Like, it's just not one of those things. Not everybody has the same journey. Not everybody has the same role. Not all your ancestors are your ancestors. Not everybody that passes is your ancestors. Let me say that. Sorry. We tend to not want to do things because of the pain that comes along with it. I completely understand not wanting to be in pain. I completely understand not wanting to deal with things. But the longer you don't deal with a lesson, is the harder it comes back. Not only now is your tapestry fucked up, you either got to figure out a way to fix your tapestry before it's too late, or live with the nicks and the holes that might be in your tapestry and still hope that at the end of the day that it will still stand up to the test of time. Or you live in your own hell. And for a long time, I lived in my own hell. I'm not gonna lie. Like, some people come to me and they're just like, how is it that you were able to go through all of that and, you still find a happy disposition in things? I don't feel like anything I went through was really that bad anymore. I can't even say that the stuff that made me feel like I wanted to take my life was even a valid reason for me to want to do it. And I don't know if that's because I've sat and had conversations with death, or I've sat and had conversations with the dead. Hey, hold on, guys. um, I don't know if that makes a difference for me, that I feel the way I feel. Maybe, maybe not. Possibly, possibly. But there is so much joy in being here that I've learned to create for myself. I have connected with so many like-minded people. I have met so many beautiful, wonderful beings through online and just in person. My dog is like really being a lot right now. Say excuse me, sir. And I don't think I would give up any of those connections. Even some of the things where I feel like was painful for me, I still don't think I would give up any of my life for getting rid of any of those painful connections. And that goes from having surgeries to skinning my knee to losing friends to bad grades to people trying to ruin my life because I don't give them what they want, to people just working on themselves and you being you just happen to being in the way. I do cherish all of those experiences because they help me build the tapestry of my life. And I am grateful. But what I also learned is once you have those experiences, you don't have to keep on having them. Every day we make a choice. Every day we choose to accept or not accept something. Every day, even if you don't see the rewards or negative experiences of that choice on that day, it still plays a role. For example, someone that smokes weed and works a job. The benefit of you smoking weed probably is that it's helping any type of medical issue you have. But if the job finds out, you lose your job. Or you have to go to rehab or whatever it is they want you to do. I'm sorry, my nose ring is bothering me. I gotta straighten it up. Or you could have decided to go out with Dave, not knowing that Dave was a fucked up individual that had plans for you. You could have ignored some red flags about Dave and still decided to talk to Dave. Or you just could have been in such a state of heartbreak and wanting that it didn't matter to you that there was red flags about Dave because you wanted to satisfy whatever it was you needed to satisfy at that moment. And now all of a sudden Dave is persuading you to do things you don't want to do. Dave is treating you less than how you should be treated. Hey everybody, I'm not ignoring anybody. I love you guys. But that decision to talk to Dave has now led to other things dealing with Dave that you don't like. And sometimes we don't see red flags, and sometimes we do. We just don't realize we saw the red flags until it's brought up. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with, doing that. Like, I went through my life, I put myself in a lot of situations that I shouldn't have. I'm no longer angry at it. I'm no longer angry at myself. Before I went into the hospital, I went around and I started apologizing to certain people in my life and saying sorry for blaming them for decisions that I made. Even if I felt like they catalyzed upon my feelings, or that they took advantage of them, or they pushed knives into my feelings to push me farther into where I was. At the end of the day, it was my decision to be hurt by that, to let it affect me, to let it mold my decisions. It was my decision to retaliate or not retaliate. The one thing I have control over is my energy, my energies. You're welcome, Nikki. Like, I can only tell people from my own experiences. But I can only control my energy, my energies that surround me, my own mind, my own body. There will be instances where there are certain things you won't be able to control because the wheels have already turned for that situation. But in me apologizing for blaming those people for my own situations and my own feelings, I released myself. I released the feelings of hatred. I released the feeling of sadness, hurt, and pain. Now, just because I apologized, it did not mean I had to forgive them. And everybody's going to have a different thought process on this. But I don't feel like you have to forgive people to get past. Because when people do things over and over again, why are you forgiving someone that's purposefully doing something over and over again? Forgiveness is a privilege in my eyes. If I'm going to forgive you, it's because I feel like you won't do it again and that you really did not have the worst intentions for me. But it doesn't mean that I have to forgive you to move on. I can move on without forgiving anyone. I've just come to a place where you are who you are. You're at the space that you're in. And I'm moving in the direction that I'm moving in. And you're just not included. You have to think of the bigger picture of your tapestry. Spiritual work is not easy. Some people say I make it look easy. If you grew up with me or you know any of my hardships, you know it has not been easy. And I have people out here taking, I guess saying that me going down like a couple months ago was their doing. No, it wasn't. Don't let people make it seem like, don't let anyone take the credit for work you've been doing. I wanted to be reborn. I wanted to get to a place. I wanted change. I wanted transformation, and I got it. I didn't ask for how I wanted it. So I'm not mad at it. For some people, this is going to be hard, but you have the power to take your own life by the reins. If you believe in as above, so below, then you know that what you do here is going to be fruitful on the next plane. So if you're doing right here, you do right over there. If you are acting fucked up here, it's going to be fucked up over there. If you're doing something with a genuine and pure heart, that's really all that matters. But you still have to know what actions come and what reactions will pop up. And a lot of us don't want to hear it because we're in a space, if you're in a space in your mind where you don't want to hear anything, you don't want to see anything, that's fine. We all have it. We do. It's just how you're going to react to it. Are you strong enough to know yourself and to be yourself? It doesn't have to be at that moment, like you got to change at that moment. But at some point, are you realizing that change and transformation has to come? Or are you so set on being the same because you're afraid of what you can turn into? I used to be afraid of success. I used to be afraid of being seen. I used to be afraid of being heard. I used to be afraid of standing up to myself, whether it be to family, friends, strangers, because I just didn't want to deal with it. And so, things happened. Not a majority of them I didn't like, because I didn't even really stand up for myself. So it led to it being something where it was a reflection of me not standing up to myself, for myself. To me, it feels like it took me a long time to get to this point. Whereas I know people feel like, oh, I've been doing this for this long and nothing has happened. There's no time limit, there's no time frame. But I finally learned that nobody is more important than me. My sanity is important. And people will only get away with what you allow them to get away with. This is why I always say stuff about setting boundaries, having boundaries, and just knowing how far you'll go or let someone go. And that once they cross that, you either need to nip that shit in the bud or you need to completely let them go. Your tapestry is your tapestry. They have their own tapestry that they're working on. You cannot share one tapestry with other people. It's yours. Your life is yours. Because at the end of the day, the only time people will take responsibility for anything they've done in your life is if it's a reward. If it's something bad that happened, nobody will take responsibility for that. No one will say, oh yeah, well, I told you to do this. It's going to be, oh, well, you decided you wanted to do it. It's your tapestry. It's your life. And if you have kids, your tapestry, your kids are looking at your tapestry. They're learning how to make their tapestry from your tapestry. If you have friends who are on a journey with you, they're doing the same thing. Like my mentors, I looked at their tapestry to figure out, like, oh, okay, that's how they did that in that situation. Does that help me in my situation or not? If I tried it and it helped, I add that to my tapestry. If it didn't, won't be adding it into the next one. We tend to take away too much power from ourselves and put it outside of ourselves. We tend to not give ourselves that much credit. If you're not as powerful as you are, then what was the point of having a brain? What is the point of having free will and decision? What is the point of there being a variety of types of people, of species of animals, of anything? Once you put power back into yourself, you put power into your bloodline, you put power into the universe, that the universe puts back into you. Because we're all energy. We all feed into each other. Which leads me into talking about energy vamps. Energy vamps are and are not real at the same time, because energy is always flowing. You technically cannot be drained of your energy if, like me being out here, I can't be drained of my energy because I'm in the energy of nature. Someone can't drain me of my energy because they're also giving off energy. And I know what type of energy I have, and my energy is powerful enough to transmute or modify the energy to something that is beneficial to me. Sometimes you're just genuinely tired. Sometimes it's just that drainage you feel is you saying you need to speak the fuck up. Is you saying you need to detach from being around that person because they don't have your best interest. It's a warning sign. If something is draining you, or you're feeling like you're drained, then you're missing a step, or you need to subtract something. Either you need to add something or subtract something to that whole situation. Energy is infinite. Even a rock has energy. Look at crystals. They're considered just a rock to some people, but it got energy. Animals have energy, spirits and souls. Plants have energy, spirits and souls. Everything on this earth has a spirit, energy, soul, whatever you want to call it. Just because we can't communicate with it the same way, we can't hear it the same way, does not mean it's not in existence. You always have energy. But if you think that you don't have energy, you won't have it. You won't feel it. It won't be yours. When I disappear or like kind of just chill out and y'all don't hear from me, it's not me really recharging or reclaiming my energy. Well, I mean, I am drawing back the specific energy that I've given to people that don't deserve it. But it's more so of me doing an energy exchange with nature, the elements, myself doing an energy exchange, like bringing down more sovereign energy and exchanging it, giving it to wherever, whoever, so they can go ahead and do whatever they want to do with it and put the positive ions back in it, whatever you want to say that it's doing. It is not, it's no longer because I'm drained. I came to that realization. I just feel like we're not going to like everything that happens because we live in a world where everybody is making their own tapestry. Everybody has to love themselves enough. Everybody has to know how powerful they are. Everybody has to know that they're the priority. Tapestries get fucked up because people forget how important they are. People harbor certain types of lazy habits that keep them disconnected from creating the tapestry that they've been asking for. It's not about the now all the time. It's about it as a whole, because now you're going to be pleased, but then later you're going to be back in the same position talking about, well, I want this and da-da-da, and this ain't happening for me. That's because you wanted immediate gratification and not long-term gratification. Once you realize how powerful you are and how great you are, you won't have a need to depend on certain things, certain people that are out here. You won't give power to things and people that are not teaching you how to fish. It is better that someone teaches you how to fish instead of giving you fish. Because if they're always giving you fish, you're always going to have to come back. If they're teaching you how to fish, they're showing you how to live for life. Hey. I just really want y'all to sit on that. I think that was really like the message that Spirit was really telling me, was that your actions is from decisions that you made. No one goes into your brain and says, okay, I'm going to press this button. This is going to make Tarianne do this because I made her do it. We all have a choice. whether we feel like we don't or not. We may not like the action or whatever happens once we do it, but we all have a choice. But you have the power to make things become better. But if you don't believe in yourself, it's not going to be that for you. Give yourself credit. Take responsibility for your own actions. Take responsibility for your happiness. Take responsibilities not just for when bad things happen. That's not what I'm saying. Take responsibility for your accomplishments, your rewards, your celebrations. Take responsibility for all of that. I'm in a place that I'm in because I put myself there. Now, I'm not stopping here, but I can genuinely say that 90% of the time, I'm happy because I've put myself in a place that no one can get into. No one can fuck with. And I've gained the mindset that if you want to be here and be for me, you'll respect how I am. Of course, it's your decision. If it's your decision to respect how I am, then cool. If it's not, there is no reason to be here. I want my energy to be a certain thing, just like you guys want your energy to be a certain thing. So you add and subtract things that make your energy into what you want it to be. It's like buying a house. You know what accents you want on the walls? You know what color you want in the bathroom? You went out and got it. You went out, bought the paint. Wasn't the right paint. You went out and got it mixed. You went out and made sure you got the right thing. The same thing goes for your happiness in your world, your tapestry. Go out and get the shit. The color is your decision. The size is your decision. The ugliness, the prettiness, the badassery of it is your decision. The money falling in that motherfucking account, them dollars, that the bread, the money, the moolah falling in your account, that's you, baby. That's you. Your decisions. You celebrate that. You give yourself that power. That also goes into if you made the decision to go to someone that can help you. If you made the decision to go to someone that is well versed in that topic. You made the decision to go to somebody that is on a level that you want to get to. Or you see them on a level that you want to get to. Or you see them on a level that you feel like it's going to take you some time to get to. But if they do it, this will do whatever. Yeah, that's still your decision. You made the decision to do it. So it's like, give yourself the power. Allow yourself to make the decisions, but know that they are your decisions. Like, y'all be at peace, be happy, be love, be bliss, be joy. Be confidence, be security, be the bag. Be that manifestation, be that blessing, be all of it. Like, why can't you? Who told you you can't be? Be that ancestor, be that energy. If you got demons that you feel like you got to get past, why don't you bring them some Oreos and some milk and y'all sit down and have a conversation? I actually like to bring Jamaican rum to my demons or some type of rum so we can sit down and have a conversation in front of the fireplace. That's also included in shadow work. Some of these demons that we're talking about are our own that we have created. And you've given a physical form to, or a spiritual form to, or an energetic form to. Give yourself a chance. Don't give up on your happiness. Don't forget that you are loved. Don't forget how much power you hold. Don't forget to be kind to yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Be patient with yourself. Don't forget that we all have a role to play. We play our own roles. What I do is not going to be what somebody else can do. Because I'm damn sure a lot of people could not walk in my shoes. No. You couldn't even stick a toe in the shoe in the first place. You would have been gave up. Just like I wouldn't be able to be in somebody else's shoes. It's not for me. How I got here doesn't necessarily have to be for you. You have a way to get there. Yep, you can create your own heaven and hell. As above, so below. As above, so below. So that's just something for y'all to think about. I actually think that this was a good one. So if y'all feel like someone else needs to hear this joint, then go ahead and share it. I mean, share it regardless. But I mean, like, if you really feel like somebody needs to hear this, yeah, share that. It is so many people looking for the right word being said for them to realize how strong they are. For me, it took me seeing myself like on a record to realize how important I was. For me to have the memory of a heartbreak, of a heartache, of a feeling used, for me to remember how powerful I was. And that I need time. And I learned to get help. I learned that people that wanted to help me, not all of them, but people that wanted to help me, they were there for me. And those are the beautiful souls that I keep around me. Those are the beautiful people that I have a close proximity with. Shit, if I can do it, y'all can do it. Let me say that. If I can do it, y'all can do it. We all made an energy. My energy is the same as yours at the end of the day. It's just how I'm utilizing it and how quickly I'm able to get to it. You find your way that works for you. We're all unique. No thumbprint is the same. Love you guys. See y'all next time.